Alright guys, so today what we're going to be doing is chapter 13. There's a few little errors in the video we usually would watch, so I'll play parts of it, but for the most part I'm just going to do the drawing with you on here to make it easier. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the three dots and create a new chapter. So click new, next, call this chapter 13. And then finish. And then after that, now that we have a new chapter, we're going to click on the new button. And this time, unlike our usual times, we're still going to do ENUS English, but we're going to do sheet metal this time because we're going to be doing a lot with sheet metal in this chapter. So ENUS English sheet metal. Okay? And then I'll click create. Now I'm going to be watching the video while we do this, so I'm not missing anything. But from there, you're going to notice a few different things here. So we have all of the sheet metal options up here. Unlike our typical 3D model tab, extrude, revolve, it automatically pops us up to sheet metal. And then over here on the left, it shows a few more things over here. But the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this sheet metal defaults button. And when we click on this button, we're then going to click on, everyone see this little pencil next to sheet metal rule? We're going to click on that pencil. When you click on that pencil, one second, let me get this fast forwarded. We're going to change just a few settings. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the new button up here. And when you click on the new button, we're going to type into this new button 16 gauge mild steel. So up here, instead of copy of default, 16 gauge mild steel. I'll click OK. And then once you've clicked OK on that, there's another few things we're going to change. So we're going to change the thickness to, over here, we're going to change the thickness to 0.0625. All these numbers are kind of weird in this video, so just bear with me. And then the next thing we're going to click on is this pencil over here under unfold rule. And it's going to say, do you want to save the edits? We're going to say yes. And then we're going to click new again. And this time we're going to type in V-bend. And then again, it's going to be the 16 gauge mild steel. So 16 gauge mild steel here. And then we'll click OK. And then we're going to change our K factor on here, the K factor value, to, let me see what he changed it to 0. So you're just going to delete the 44, so it's 0.440. Instead, it's going to be 0.41. Okay? And you'll click Save and Close. And then from there, we can change this tab under sheet metal rule. We can now change it to that 16 gauge mild steel that we originally had planned for this drawing. And then from there, 1 second, I'm still watching the video. The material we're going to change to steel, comma, mild. So up here, steel, comma, mild. There's a few options here. Make sure you just choose the one that says steel, comma, mild. And then unfold rule, we'll change it to that V-bend 16 gauge mild steel, the one we just created. And then we have one more thing to do. Click on the pencil one more time. That was the one right here under sheet metal rule. Click on that pencil. And we're going to click on the bend tab. And then the bend, we're going to change, just going to confirm that everything's set up. So it should say, where it says straight, we're going to change this to round. One second. And then where it says thickness, we're going to do the star symbol and type in 1.5. So it's going to say thickness times 1.5. That way you don't have to remember our thickness. I think our thickness was 0.0625. But you don't have to remember it now because it's just going to multiply whatever our regular thickness is by 1.5. And then I'm going to click Save and Close. And then from there, you can click Apply. And then just exit this box after you hit apply. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start this 2D sketch. So give me 1 second. So start by clicking on Start 2D Sketch. And then once this pops up, we're going to click on the XY plane to start this 2D sketch. And you're going to want this cube, let me move my little screen so you can see this. I want my cube to say front on it. And then from there, we're going to do, this is where he kind of goes in fast motion. So let me slow this down for myself. We're going to turn on a few of the visibilities. So click next to origin, the plus sign, and then we're going to change the visibility to YZ, XZ, Y-axis. Oh. You can do this by hitting the control button on your keyboard. So you can select multiple things at once. If not, you can just click each one and right click and check visibility. But the control button will help you select multiple things at the same time. So YZ, XZ, Y-axis, center point. Those are the 3 planes we're going to have selected here. And then we're going to go to the line, or the, 1 second, sorry, he kind of messes this up. We're going to do the center point circle. And we're going to draw a center point circle here with a diameter of 0.745. And then he does this a little incorrectly, so I'm going to do this better than what he does. Give me 1 second. I'm going to fast forward. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me watch what he does. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we're going to click on the line tab, and we're going to start on this. It would be our x-axis. We're going to just somewhere on the x-axis. We're going to click. We're going to go straight up with our line. We'll go to the right with our line. Make sure all of your symbols are coming up as horizontal, perpendicular, just so that they're straight lines. We'll go straight up again. We'll go over. We're going to go down, and I'm actually going to not line it up with this line here. I'm going to do like a slightly less than that. I'm going to do a line across. This line I will line up, so there's that, and then I'm going to go over some random distance. Then I can click escape. The next thing we're going to do is center point arc. So I'm going to click on the center point of this line. I'm going to go over the right and the left. And now I have the center point arc. And now I can actually delete this original line that we drew, this green line. So I'll delete that for me. And then we're going to add a few dimensions in here. So we're going to dimension this top line, this green line, to this center point of our little arc that we just put in. And that dimension is going to end up being, 1 second, 0.25. And then we'll do another dimension in a second. Sorry. This one's going to be from the center point of this circle to the center point of this circle. Well, I guess this arc and this circle. And that distance is going to be 0.33. Okay, and now we're going to do some odd stuff. We're going to select, I don't know why he does it this way, because you think that, so escape from dimensioning. I'm just going to drag this, I'm going to extend this line if I can. Oh no, it won't let me. Okay, so I'm going to select this line, all these lines, and hit the control button again to do the so. And then I'm going to click on this button called mirror. Oh, sorry, back up. Just kidding. That's why it was confusing last time. So we're going to first click project geometry, and we're going to project the geometry of this line here and this line here. So now we have two yellow lines popping up. It should have already done that originally, so I don't know why it didn't the first time. Let's see if the extend button works now. Okay. Okay, so now you can click extend. after you projected the geometry. So I'll extend that line, I'll extend this side line, and now from here I can actually select all of these lines now. So just click the control button, select all these lines, and then we're going to do something called mirroring. We haven't talked about mirroring that much, but basically the key goal of mirroring is that you no longer have to put in dimensions for the entire shape if you mirror it, because whatever dimensions you do to the original piece that you mirror will automatically translate over to the mirrored part. So now we'll have to do less dimensions because of this. So now I'm going to click on this mirror line, and I'm going to click on the y-axis. I'm going to click apply, and then I'm going to click done, and then I'm going to do this again. It does a very bad job of explaining this. But now I'm going to do this again with this line, with all these top lines that we just drew. Oop. Make sure they turn blue. If they don't turn blue, you're not selecting them. And now I'm going to click, oh, there's a few more. So now I'm going to click, oh my god, why is that one disappearing? Okay, now I'll click mirror again. I don't know if that one was selected. And then I'll click mirror line. I'm going to mirror on this axis now. I'll click apply. So now we have our shape. The video did such a bad job of doing this, so I'm glad that I did this video for you guys. Next thing we're going to do is dimension. I'm going to click on this line to this line. I'm going to go straight up with it. And that dimension is going to be 1.325, and I actually think we end up changing that dimension, but for now we'll do it. 1.325. Okay. The next dimension we're going to do is from this line to this line, and that dimension is going to be 1.620. Well, 1.62. Oh, hopefully this flattens out. Okay, the next dimension is going to be these smaller lines. And this is going to be 1. The next dimension we're going to do is these two lines, and this is going to be 0.125. Oh, it does change it. So this one's going to be 0.125. And this one he changes again. I thought he did. 1.508 is now what this top one is. The next dimension we're going to do is from this line to this line. Go straight up with that. And that is going to be 1.325. And then from there, what we're going to end up having to do is flatten these lines in a second, but I'm going to wait till he's done dimensioning everything first. 1 second. Okay, now we're going to do a dimension, which might seem pointless, but it does make sense actually. From that center dot to that blue line on my screen. And that is just going to be this line divided by 2. And then we're going to do it one more time with the actual dimension of this arc. So here, this arc. And that is also going to be this line divided by 2. Okay. Give me 1 second. Alright. Next thing you're going to do is this, I think it's called collinear. Yeah, collinear constraint. We'll click on that. Click on this line. Click on this line. And it should have adjusted that, and now our whole shape should be black. make sure there's nothing else. Okay. Okay, so this is our whole shape. So I did a few dimensions here. I'll zoom in a little bit for you guys to see them. But if your whole shape isn't black, then something's wrong. I'll click Finish now. And then from there, I'm going to click on this. One second. I'm going to click on this face button. I don't know why it doesn't naturally select the whole face. But you need to select all 4 of these quadrants. If you try to do like this button where it's like this, it's going to make that circle also have a part, so don't do that. And then 1 second. Let me make sure there's no other buttons we have to click. Okay, and then we're just going to make sure this says our new 16 gauge thing on here. And I believe that's all we need to do. So you can click OK now. And then from there, we're going to, one second, I have to skip through a few things he does. We're going to use this flange command. And what you're going to do is click on this green line over here first. So I'll click on that. Then I'm actually going to want to flip my cube around so I'm on the back side of this shape. So I can then select this green line. So when I click on the home button, these are pointing away from us, okay? And then I think there's a few settings that we have to change, so give me 1 second to figure out what those are. So we're going to want our height distance, or height extents, to be 0.5. So this distance to be 0.5. And then we're going to want to make sure this bend is going outside of reference plane for bend position, which it looks like it already is, outer side of reference plane. So that should be good. Let me make sure there's no other things we need to add. So we should be good. So you can go ahead and click OK. This is what our shape looks like right now. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go, let's see, we're going to click Start 2D Sketch again, and we're going to click on the face of this outside wall. So I'm going to click on that. And then I will show you how to draw this in just a second, but let me get to the screen. So we'll have to do some projecting geometry and stuff like that. Okay, so now I have that up. So now, what we're going to do drawing is some lines on this face. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to go from this corner point. We're going to draw just some random angle. Doesn't really matter what angle you draw. Then we're going to go straight up with that angle, and then straight across. And then these ones won't be lined up. Oh wait, just kidding. This will be lined up with this corner point, this line here. And then we're going to do another angle in from there. And this angle that comes in should line up with the midpoint of this top line we have. So it doesn't matter how long the angle is yet. And then I'll just go straight down until I hit this middle x-axis. And then I'm going to click Escape. I'm now going to draw a center point arc again from here to here, and I'll go around. And then I can again delete this line. And then we're going to do a center to center slot. and we'll go down with it. Doesn't really matter the distance yet. We're going to put all those in a second. And then from there, I'm going to end up just mirroring this whole shape again. So we'll do a few of the dimensions on our own. Let me start by selecting this shape. So you'll select all these lines. We'll click mirror. Make sure all of your lines are blue. I'll actually even make this line blue and this point blue. And then I'm going to click mirror, and I'm going to click on, oh, I forgot to click project geometry first. Project geometry of this bottom line first. Then we can go back to the mirror command. I'm going to select all these lines. It's probably better for you to select the lines once you already selected mirror, and then after that, select the axis you're going to mirror it on. So there's our shape. We've mirrored it. Looks good. Now we're going to dimension some things. So the first thing I'm going to dimension here is I'm going to do the distance from this outside line here all the way over to this line. And that distance is going to be 0.82. Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Control Z. Don't do that on yet. Okay. I'm going to start by actually doing the distance from here to here. Oh, I need to go back to dimension. From this line to this line. We'll go straight up with it. I'm going to do 0.25. I'm then going to do the diameter of this arc, which is going to be 0.125. I'll then do the distance of, sorry, I'm trying to see what he's doing on some of these. The distance from this line to this green line, and that distance, oh, it's already saying it's created. Oh, that's fine. Just accept that. And then we'll do a distance from the top of this line to the bottom of this line. That distance is going to be 0.125. Then we're going to do the distance from this dot over to this dot, which is going to be 0.4. We're then going to do the distance of this arc here, which is going to be 0.063. Then we'll do this distance from, oh, why did it not extend correctly? The distance of this line to this line, which is going to end up being 0.615. We're then going to do the distance from, it shouldn't mess up this time, but this line to this line, and we're going to make it 0.82. Oh, that dimension failed for some reason. Let's do the distance of this line to this line. Oh, dimension. We'll go from this purple line down here to this yellow line. That is going to be an angle of 150. Oh, that one failed as well. I don't know why they're failing. 1 second, guys. It's probably because of this distance. So let's try that again. So we'll go from this line to this line, 150. Failed to edit the dimension. Okay. Oh, because I still have this here. Okay, so I think we need to do the angle first, all these inside ones first before we do the other one. Still failed. What is going on with that dimension? Let's do this. Sorry guys, the dimensioning part is like the hardest part of this because he doesn't show us any of that. So I'm just like purely guessing. So So there's probably some constraints in here that I put that shouldn't be here. So if we click on show constraints, maybe that will help it. I'm not seeing any constraints that are like out of the norm. We should be good. Let me try it one more time. I'm gonna remove the constraints. Still does not want to do that. Let's try this again. There we go. So there was a constraint in there somewhere that did not line up with the rest. So now it's working. So now we can try to put in our other dimensions, like this line to this line. It's going to be 0.82. And then from this line to this line, which is going to be 0.615. There we go. Now they're matching. And then, I don't know if I deleted, oh yeah. And then from this dot to this top dot, that distance is going to be 0.4. Oh, now it's not letting us do it. There's probably some more constraints going on here that shouldn't be there. So I'm going to delete that constraint, and maybe that will allow it. No, maybe there's a constraint on here. Oh. Things are moving, and not in the right way. Oh, I see. So the dimension from, maybe that's why. The dimension from here to here, this is going to be 150. Oh, that's just a value that already comes in. That's perfect. Okay. So that should be fine. And then the dimension from this top line to this middle line is going to end up being 0.25. And then the same distance from this whole line. That dimension is going to end up being, I think that we just need to do, I don't know why it's coming out like that, but that's fine. The whole dimension should be the right distance. And then up here, there's still something missing. Let's try dimensioning this bottom line. Oh, it's already put in. The only dimension that I'm missing is the distance from here to here. It doesn't want me to put in the right distance. And then down here, we're going to have to make this one vertical. And these should be all the same, but we can confirm that the same way we confirmed it up here. We can make sure this dimension's 150. We can make sure this one's 150 as well. And then this distance should be 0.125. Oh wait, no, I see. So let's delete that. So we'll try it down here. Distance from here to this bottom line. Still won't let me change it. I'm going to change this to diameter, and this should be 0.125. And then there's one more distance it appears to not be letting me put in, but I'm just going to keep clicking on all these and see if it pops up with what's missing. It seems to be right except for this dimension, but it's not letting me change that, so there might just be some constraints that are unnecessary over here. Now it might let me put in. Nope, it's still not gonna let me put it in. I don't know what's different about mine compared to the videos, but we'll just keep it there at 0.554. If you guys end up figuring out how to change it, let me know. And then from there, we're going to click Finish. We're going to click on Face again. We're going to click on this whole side shape. And what I'm going to end up doing from there, I'm just going to click OK. Now you're going to want to move your cube to this back corner, well actually more like this back corner, so that you can see both sides, and we're probably going to end up mirroring this over. So we're going to click on Mirror. We're then going to select Face 2. We're going to right click, click Continue, and then we're going to click on this plane here, it's in the middle, and then click OK. So once you select this plane, you should be able to mirror it over. And then we have a few more things we need to add on. We're going to click on Start 2D Sketch. We're going to click on this plane again. And we're going to add a few more slots. So give me 1 second. He's going fast. Change this back to the speed I need. So you start off by changing the view to wireframe. Then from there we could go to the Sketch tab. We're going to end up adding one of these slots. We're going to add the center to center slot. And we're just going to do that somewhere in the middle here. The size does not matter for that one. And then we're going to add some dimensions from there. So the first one we're going to do is a dimension from this line, that like yellow line, to the center point of this little slot we just put in, and we're going to make that dimension 0.3. Then we're going to add another dimension from these two slots from here to here, and that is going to be 0.45. We're going to add another dimension from the top of this one to the middle of this, and this one is just going to be, oh, it's wanting to put in a value for me, that's fine. We're going to add another dimension to this top arc, and it's going to be 0.065. And then we're going to make sure that this center dot aligns. So if you click on that center dot, it should align with, so I'm going to have to click on coincident constraint. I'm going to find the center dot up here. I don't know why mine's not turning green. You can throw in a dimension, I guess, from the center dot to this line and make it 0. So that's how we'll do that, I guess. And then after that, we can click Finish. After we click Finish, we're going to change back to the backside view that we're on. Okay, and then we're going to click on this Cut button. Make sure that's selected. Sorry, it's on slow motion again. Let me change it back to 1. We're going to do the extents to be the distance is going to be through all. Then we're going to make it go both directions. And then we click OK. We can change the view back to shaded with hidden edges. And then the final part we're going to do is creating a fold feature. So we're going to click Start 2D Sketch. We're going to click on, let me make sure I clicked on the right one. We're going to click on this shape right here. We're going to draw a line from this line to this line, like that. We're going to dimension it down from here to the, I don't know why it's not letting me select the origin, but down to this line, and that is going to be a distance of 0.53 or 0.535.
Those two games yesterday? Crazy.
We're then going to click Finish here. We're now going to click on the Fold feature. Then we're going to select this line again. We're going to click on this middle button here. I'm going to click on this outside button. And we're going to make sure this says bend radius and 90. I'll click apply. Oh, it went the wrong way. 1 second. We want it to go the opposite direction. So let me edit this feature. And we actually want it to go opposite direction. So if you just click on that button, it should have done it. Then we're going to click on mirror again. We're going to click on fold 1. We're going to click on the YZ axis. And then we're just going to click OK. And we'll do it on both sides. Okay, and then I think the rest of the video I should just be able to show you everything that happens. But he moves kind of quick in the first 2 videos. So I apologize for how long that took me to watch and figure it out. But here we are. So ours is a little bit different distance-wise for the side face, which is fine. I'm not like going to be super mad if it goes too far up on this wall. But it should relatively look like this now. I'll end up just playing the video for the next part. Okay. Thanks, guys.